What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about the crypto news. Um, Before I get into all of that, as always, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would smash it in this bull cycle. Had you invested $100 into each coin at the time of the release of the videos and were still holding those bags, you'd be in profit for $48,200, adding your $2,600 investment, sitting on $50,800. I've held all of these at one point or another closed positions, and I'm damn it, all of them in profit. Not grin, never grin. Grin just ruins my green spreadsheet. And I've reinvested that money into new cryptos. If you want to see the cryptos I'm in, check out Copy My Crypto. This is where I've built my portfolio to maximize gains during this bull cycle. My portfolio has outperformed the market week in, week out. My top holdings are absolutely primed for explosive gains over the coming month. If you want to start building your wealth, making these gains, because the bear market will hit. It's inevitable. And whether that's 2 months down the line, 6 months down the line, make those gains before the bear market hits, because having more money to invest in a bear cycle means way more wealth at the next bull cycle. Okay. So Bitcoin sitting on around 47,700. The market cap of crypto smashed up over the weekend, well beyond 2 trillion. So we're on 2.2 trillion, $110 billion or thereabouts. $106 billion. And Bitcoin is on a run. So there's a couple of articles I want to talk about. This is from CoinDesk, and this was today. Friday's crypto market breakout caused massive short covering. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what short covering is, short coverings are when people that are positioned in shorts, so whether it's, well, it doesn't matter what investment it is, start covering their shorts by buying the cryptos. So what it ends up doing is causing the prices to increase. So if you're massively short on Bitcoin and all of a sudden Bitcoin's continuing to rise and you're fearful of your short, you're buying more Bitcoin to cover your potential losses, and it forces the price higher. And we saw that en masse, particularly on Friday. We saw Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP all advance over 8% in the early hours of Friday. Now, looking at the layout of Bitcoin, momentum remains high on weekly charts. It's also turned to positive on daily charts following Friday's move higher. Bitcoin's resolved its 10-day sideways range by exceeding the downtrend, which was placed basically during September. It's possible that Bitcoin will is starting off its traditionally bullish Q4 seasonal rally, FS Insight said. The firm's first upside target is $52,956, which is the September high, and following that will be $64,895, which is pretty much the all-time high. Momentum for Bitcoin is overbought on the hourly. However, there's a belief that that's going to be dips that are buyable, and the daily momentum is certainly not overbought, according to FS Insight. Bitcoin is trading around, well, at the time of writing this, 47,500. So there hasn't been much movement in Bitcoin. We're still knocking around 47,700. Now, Plan B has released some more information. If you're unfamiliar with Plan B was the man that created the stock to flow model for Bitcoin. The stock to flow model for Bitcoin is very much guided by the stock to flow model that is used for gold, that's used for silver, and that has been incredibly accurate over the years in terms of predicting Bitcoin's moves. Now, what we are seeing in terms of the Plan B model, there's a couple of things. So firstly, the hash rate for Bitcoin has actually broken all-time highs. So the actual CoinWars recorded 201 exahashes per second on October 2nd. Now, mining pool stats currently is showing 138 exahashes, but the previous all-time high was around 162, I believe. Sorry, 168 exahashes. So we're like 32 above the previous all-time high, which bodes very, very well. So even with all the banning of mining, with everything that's happened, mining has come back in full force. So that's very strong. Now, Plan B has actually talked about Bitcoin. So he says the worst case scenario for Bitcoin has come true 2 months running, but now, and that was his worst case scenario. Now his floor estimates for the end of October is around $63,000 per Bitcoin and $98,000 per Bitcoin for the November close. Zooming out, he said that price behavior is roughly 50% through its bull cycle. So it's leaving the door open for a lot of rapid gains, but with a ton of time left, more time than everyone's been anticipating. In my opinion, we are midway, no signs of weakness yet. Note color overlay is not months to halving, but an on-chain signal. My guess, the second leg of the bull market will have at least 6 more months to go. So that would put us around April of next year. So, if that's the case, we're going to see maybe a slower progression for Bitcoin than anticipated. But Bitcoin ETFs are looking more and more and more likely. A futures-based ETF go-ahead is likely first as the SEC kick the can regarding a decision on a traditional product until at least November. Now, November is still, a month away. But despite this, we're seeing Bitcoin starting to build momentum. If an ETF were to come in, we would see huge price movements in terms of what we see coming into Bitcoin. If you look at actually Bitcoin, the funds traded in Bitcoin are massively, massively over everything else that we're seeing. Well, particularly in GBTC, dominating. So it's looking strong. Bitcoin looking strong. Ripple, in other news, have rolled out a preview of their huge XRP ledger update. What's going to happen here is you're going to see side chains that are going to be, they're basically calling federated side chains that are going to hopefully unleash DeFi and smart contracts across XRP. They're also looking at introducing a Ethereum virtual machine as a side chain. So that will integrate Ethereum smart contracts. There's also going to be, that's also going to provide everyone with the opportunity to get in at lower barriers to entry for developers. So developers can start building DeFi apps on XRPL with cross-chain interoperability. The sidechains would be connected to the XRPL by federators and pieces of software run by parties who operate validators on at least one sidechain. Sidechains can then obviously reduce barriers to entry because Ripple is so low cost. It bodes very well. Ripple really pushing along with a lot of developments, and we know that they've got the Flare Canary network coming. We know that when that's unleashed, we should see another price run. I think that's going to be timed to be unleashed and released a couple of weeks or a month or so after everything is done with this SEC nonsense. And if that's the case as well, that could end up pushing the price action of XRP dramatically up. And the last news, very interesting one, is Grayscale have reported that they believe Cardano is underpriced compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum based on the strengthening fundamentals. The report has pointed out that Cardano's on-chain metrics have grown in strength over the last 12 months. They've also seen a significant uptick in both usage and user adoption. And according to their research, it could be undervalued given its significant growth over time. Now, Cardano is currently settling more payment values per unit of market cap than its direct competitors. So it settled over 1.6 trillion in total on-chain transaction value over the last 12 months, which is around 40% less than Ethereum, 50% less than Bitcoin. Its market cap, meanwhile, is roughly 80 and 90% lower than Ethereum and Bitcoin. So, yes, it's doing less volume than Ethereum and Bitcoin, but compared to its market cap, it's actually better cost per market cap. So Ethereum's value per user is 55k, while Cardano's is 30k. This may imply that Cardano is lower valued relative to its largest comparable crypto network, Ethereum. But with obviously a huge influx in adoption, huge influx in terms of smart contracts that are now starting to launch, they believe that Cardano is undervalued. They also noted that the market may find other metrics important, and that the network is still a long way to go to offer a competitive DeFi ecosystem that rival its competitors. That is obviously a very fair point. Cardano is nowhere close to Ethereum in terms of the DeFi ecosystem that it has, but it bodes well. And if you are invested in Grayscale, they're producing good reports and they're producing accurate reports. It's not necessarily anything we didn't know, but it's good to see these kind of points getting to a wider audience. So yeah. So Bitcoin looking very bullish. Ethereum certainly going to be looking bullish over the coming month, particularly with the amount of Ethereum that's left crypto centralized exchanges. Ripple continuing to push forward with innovation. And Cardano considered undervalued by Grayscale, which means they will probably be strengthening their bags in the coming month. We are in October. It's often referred to as Uptober because of the price rises that we often see. But yeah, things are looking very, very strong in the market. There you go, Uptober. They even say it there. So yeah, how are you guys feeling? So do you think Plan B is right? Do you think we're going to see by the end of October a 63k Ethereum? Big question. Ethereum, 63k Bitcoin. And if we see a 63k Bitcoin, what would Ethereum be? What would Cardano be? There are questions for you guys. Let me know in the comments section. And if you're new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. This is where I built my portfolio to maximize gains during this bull cycle. All the members receive information constantly about me, about what I'm doing with my investments, the opportunities that some of these coins afford, some very, very quick profits with a couple of these bad boys. And they are and the biggest holdings are primed and ready to explode. Combine that with the fact that the portfolio continuously outperforms the market week in and week out. If you want to make those gains, build your wealth, and check the link in the description. That's it from me. Bye.